everybody, and welcome to this month's episode of the Mindful Book Club. This week, we'll be going over The Desire Factor by Christy Whitman. Loved this book. It was a nice, easy read, and I think she applied some great examples to it, and I like how this is my first one where there's been like actionable things like meditations and things like that. I haven't personally done any of the meditations. I would love to see if there's like a audio version for the meditations because it's kind of hard to read them and act them out at the same time. So that's something I am looking into. But this really talks about how to like up level your desires and how to get those manifestations you've been wanting, you've been dreaming of, which is really exciting. So diving in to the book, starting out, this quote that really stuck with me, it's never about the thing, it's about who we become when we surrender to it. This was in the intro, and this kind of follows the whole book. Like, who are you trying to become? Who does your desire make you be? If you're desiring more money, what does that version of you look like? How do you live that life a bit better? And then I really like how she kind of like goes into like why maybe your desires aren't manifesting and why maybe you be doing all the right things but why they're just not working. And it's generally because how we're viewing life. We're viewing life as something that happens to us where it is actually happening from us. So we really need to take ownership of like everything we're doing is coming from within inside. It's coming from somewhere in us that is a desire, that is something we've manifested in this lifetime. So how can you like kind of channel it in a different way? Most of us are living by reacting to something happening to us and like blaming the situation. So as you said, just like putting it back. How is this coming from me? Like, not trying to blame anybody. Letting go of that blame. We really, like to let others be the problem. But in all honesty, generally, 9 times out of 10, it's us. It's how we're reacting to a situation. It doesn't matter what they said. It's how you take it. Because nobody else should be able to dictate your happiness. Fear is another thing that was worked on in this book. And it's something that I think a lot of us need to kind of realize a bit. I've been focusing on it a bit in my life and really tapping into what I'm afraid of and why I'm afraid of it and why I'm not acting on it. Because if you go back and look at all your fears, which I challenge you to do, you'll generally find that they're actually holding you back. Because if you acted on your fears, then you'd feel liberated. You'd be able to do the things that you didn't think you could ever do. But the thing that's holding you back, those fears, generally don't have a lot of ground to hold you up on. So coming back, what is the truth? What are my truths? Does that fear actually have reality in my life? 9 times out of 10, probably not. Fear is like a drastically different frequency than love. So why are we letting that fear live in that frequency? Why don't we want to be up on the frequency of love? Feel that feeling of love in your body and it radiates. It is amazing. Oh God, tapping into that feeling. It's just, take a moment, feel how love feels in your body. Pause it, feel it. And then feel how fear is. Where do you feel fear? Where do you feel love? Notice those differences. Notice the vibration you're on when you're feeling those different sensations. It is shocking. I also liked the idea that she goes into model homes and she gets inspired. A lot of us live from that feeling of lack when we see things that other people have that we want. And having bought my own house, I can feel this a little bit because it's always oh my God, I wish I had that. And I don't have all the money in the world to buy everything I want right now. So kind of living more inspired. And I desire to be more like that. Desire to see something and be wow, I can't wait to have that one day. I am so excited to manifest that in my life. By focusing on all the ways our manifestations will enhance our experience, you shift from wanting to having, and those are such different vibrations. And they can bring us up into a different level that we just weren't we don't even know we're ready for yet. And it's also kind of about getting into that state of being ready, because we may not know we're ready, and that doesn't allow the manifestation to get there. Because if you can't step up and you can't embody what your manifestation is, if you can't embody living as a woman who's making $5,000 a month, then it's not going to pop in. So what would your, whatever that money is, however, what your desired money is, how would that woman be living right now? Would she be getting massages, getting her nails done? Would she go maybe get a coffee once a week? Allowing yourself to do those things so you level up, so you feel like you're in power, so you feel like you have that desire already. Going into that, focusing on past negative experiences with people puts more energy towards these same experiences. So she gave this great example of this woman who was going to see her dad and was really dreading it because of past experiences, but by just shifting her mindset, was able to have an amazing time with him. And I think we do that a lot. We're always like, oh, I can't get there. Oh, I can't manifest that. Oh, my life can't be like that. And that's because we're stuck in that mindset that that's where we're at. Oh, I can't have enough money. We can. The world is unlimited. You just got to tap into it. I know you can. As I said, it's about focusing on those possibilities, focusing forward. So by doing that, we're just opening up for that experience to take root and allowing something to happen. It's kind of like the art of allowing. Just allow it to come in. Allow those sensations to enter our body. Focus on what we desire. Focus on all that abundance. How does that make you feel? And stay in that vibration when you can, because staying in that vibration of happiness, love, joy, abundance, expansion, you're vibrating on that energy. You're vibrating on that higher energy, and it's so much easier to attract more things into your life when you're coming from a place like that. We are miscreating when we set those expectations that we can't have those things. We're miscreating because we are bringing those negative experiences into our life and we don't even realize it. And it's okay if you have moments where you think about something negative. It's actually often said that that's okay. Come back out of it. See if you can get out of it in 30 seconds, because nothing can manifest in 30 seconds. It's when you let it keep having power over your thoughts that it's going to keep coming back. Don't let something keep coming back. Focus on those positive things. Come back. Be like, yes, I got this. I got this. Take over. It is your mind. You have power. A bit of a quote. There's no value whatsoever in looking back. That makes sense. We can only move forward in abundance and creation. We can only create from a place of moving forward. We can only create from here and now. So how can you create a better life tomorrow? How can you have a better day tomorrow? When you find what you're focusing on makes you feel better, feel worse than feel better, step away, because it's maybe not something that's meant for you right now. You may really want to be doing something, but maybe it's not where you're meant to be or not leveling to where you're supposed to go, and that's okay. Maybe it's just not for you right now, and accept that. Let that inner voice inside you be a guidance. Start listening to her a bit better, because she's going to know where you're going. You have no clue what the universe has in store for you. On page 47, she says one of my favorite quotes, where your attention goes, energy flows. And just reminding that, it's all about momentum. So coming back to that, whatever you're focusing on, it can be a negative thing, but just coming away from it. Because the more time you spend on it, that energy is going to flow there a bit more. And then paying attention to the way you feel to understand whether vibrations are attracting or repelling. Yeah. If your intuition's saying no, then you're probably repelling it a bit more, and you don't even want in something you're wanting more of in your life, so just tap into that a bit. It's the law of attraction is designed to bring you what you expect. So if you're expecting a bad outcome, if you're expecting your bank account to have $0 in it, it's gonna. If you're expecting to get a small raise, or you're expecting to get no raise, that's what's gonna happen. If you're expecting to have a bad weekend, or you're expecting your partner to come home angry, most likely gonna happen. Begin to expect things that maybe are unexpected, and life will begin to shift a bit. It's awesome to watch it come to fruition. This has actually been shown in studies, like when you give a set of teachers, say that they have Excel students, their students actually tend to perform better even though they didn't have any bit of Excel in them. The teachers just like expected better of them, and it naturally just happened. It wasn't through peer pressure, it wasn't through anger or anything like that. It was just expectations and that energy around it. It's really exciting when you look into stuff like that. But having those expectations that contradict our desires, they're not really possible. So, like, that's where you may be unaligned. Because if you're expecting one thing, you're expecting a negative thing, but you're desiring something else, you're getting all mixed up in there. So nothing's really coming to fruition because you're expecting a negative thing to happen, so your desire can't happen. Naturally happening like that. You have to just choose to believe the best is yet to come. Choose to believe tomorrow is going to be a better day. Choose to believe you have more money coming in. Choose to believe life is getting better, that you're getting healthier. Because you are. You can do anything. You can heal yourself. The feeling of having and the state of having, like, even if it's something that we'll get in the future, but just feeling like we already have it puts our happiness in the future. Or, well, like, thinking that we want something and putting it there and saying, oh, that's in the future. We're allowing our happiness to always be in the future. We're allowing something that we're just never going to attain. The happiness is in the future. And that just doesn't allow us to live in the current moment as happy. We must conjure the feeling and energy that we already have it, so that we can bring that desire into existence. The feeling that you are already abundant, the feeling that you already have enough money, that you have all the health in the world, that you have all the love and friendship. Because if you feel from that place of, I already have it, I am that, I am grateful, and know that, then you're just radiating on that level to bring it to everybody else. Having your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy channeled in the same direction is that principle of having. So knowing that it's all on that one path, you're lighting that path. It is like a highway straight to what you want. So light it up. Give it your all. Let everything be channeled right into that path. If we allow our attention to be stuck on what currently is, we're going to stay there. That she touches that on that in page 80, and you have to really think about it. Like, if you're going to be stuck in that mindset, as we said, of like, this is how it currently is, and that negative lack and that expectation, you're never going to level up. So how can you level up mentally right now? How can you say, wow, I'm in a great spot where I am. I love my house. I love my apartment. I love my job. I love this about my job. I like my commute because of this. I love my car. I love my dog. I love my partner because they do this. Just find those little things, and then they can grow. Just plant little seeds and allow them to sprout. Going into a bit more here. This principle of having prepares you to receive that manifestation, as we talked about earlier. So just allow that energy to flow. Build that highway to just allow a nice stream to run down it. Love is the highest vibration anyone can achieve and is the key to fulfilling any desire. So fill that highway with love. Open up those channels, open up those gateways to just flood in. Allow everything to just fill up inside you. It'll feel amazing. That vibration of love, if you tap into that in the body, it's so great. It radiates throughout the entire body. It is insane. And then coming back, so on page 93, she talks about, she goes through some examples of living in appreciation versus lack, and I just like to go through them. Giving and receiving freely versus not giving or being open to receiving. Opening your heart versus closing your heart. Expecting the best to happen and worrying the worst will happen. Coming from your heart, devolving into power struggles. Acknowledging infinite possibilities versus focusing on shortage. I like that one a lot. Coming really into that idea of like, I have so much, and living from that space instead of focusing on what you lack. We cannot technically have anything. We just must continue to evolve because nothing's constant. Nothing's in a state of constant knowing. So just let that happen. Just keeping that line open, letting everything manifest, because that vibrational work, that's going to keep elevating you. And there's going to be obstacles in your path. And they're here to give us skills to hone, because in order to get what we desire, we're going to have to face obstacles. So allowing those obstacles to be honed will create that space and put you in that ability to manifest your desires. Allow that faith to live within you, and your desires will happen, because tuning into those feelings can allow you to tap into where you're acting from and act from that place of much higher vibration and excitement and love. Internal alignment with inspired action is how you get those results. So not just sitting and allowing, but by taking action. Let it be a small thing every day, or once a week, or once a month. Begin to take those steps. Beginning to act as if you would already have your desire is going to give you everything you've ever wanted. I hope that you enjoyed this talk. The desire factor is really something that I think gives a lot of insights into how you can level up. If you want to have a book talk with me, please feel free to reach out to me at my email or message me on YouTube or on my website. I am so excited for the next book of the month. It is Becoming Supernatural with Joe Dispenza. I have really heard so much about Joe Dispenza, and this book is a lot about how you can tap in to level up your life, to improve your health, and so many things through breathing and exercises like that. I am becoming a breathwork facilitator, so I know this work is really potent as I am tapping into so much more in my life through my breath. And I really hope you will all join me for next month's talk. I have begun reading this book, and it is amazing. Until then, please subscribe, go check out my page or my Instagram, and I will see you all again next month. Bye. Have a great day.